Hello student, welcome to biology class. Okay, so today we are going to continue about chapter number 2, sexual reproduction in plant. Okay, so we will learn about the pollination. Okay, pollination means transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma of a pistil. Okay, so after landing on a stigma, a pollen grain start developing pollen tube. Okay, but this is the diagram of uh, pistil. Okay, and the pistil having a several part, you know that the stigma, this tube like structure is style, and this swollen part is ovary. Okay, so pollen grain, after pollination pollen grain land on a stigma has a sticky surface which trap the pollen grain. Okay, and this stigma or pistil has the specific character to recognize a compatible pollen grain. Okay, if the pollen grain is compatible, then post pollination event gets start. If pollen grain is not compatible, pollen grain is not compatible for the flower or plant, then these pollen grain are rejected. Okay, rejected by the stigma. Okay, so all of you know there are in your farms or other thing where there are different types of plants. Okay, if there is a mango plant and besides it is some other plant like a mango and apple plant. Okay, just for example. Okay, so the from apple plant a pollen grain transfer to the mango plant flower. Okay, stigma of a mango plant. So these pollen grain are of apple and the stigma of mango, so it is not accepted by this stigma. Okay, because there is the different species and different plant. Okay, so if there is a compatible pollen grain, then stigma accept this pollen grain. Okay, and after acceptance of pollen grain, this pollen grain start the post pollination events. Okay, post pollination events means it start to develop a pollen tube into the stigma or style. Okay, then this pollen tube develop into the style, and from style it enter into the ovary. Okay, you can see. Okay, here. Okay, then from ovary it is guided by the synergy, and synergy having a special structure filiform apparatus. This is the filiform apparatus. Okay, and this filiform apparatus guide the pollen tube into the ovule. Okay, then after during development of the pollen tube, this pollen tube enter into the ovule. Okay, and all of you know that in ovule there is a small aperture called micropyle. Okay, this part is called micropyle. Okay, and this micropyle is a small hole in ovule. Okay, so from this micropyle a pollen tube enter into the ovule, and after entering into the ovule it enter into the one of the synergies. Pollen tube enter into the one of the synergy. Okay, after entering into one of the synergy, pollen grain discharge their two male gametes. Okay, all of you know pollen grain having a two male gametes. Okay, it discharge two male gametes into the pollen tube. Here these are the two male gametes. Okay, then this male gamete transfer through the pollen tube and enter into the ovule. Okay, so after entering into the ovule, okay, it comes close to the egg cell. It is a female gamete. Okay, and then these male gametes are released into the cytoplasm of synergids and central cell. Okay, and then the next process, it is called double fertilization, starts into the plant. Okay, so next process is double fertilization. Okay, all of you know there is a fertilization. It means the fusion of male and female gamete. It forms zygote. It is called fertilization. So in most of the organism, like in human also and in other animals, there is a single fertilization. Single male gamete fuse with the single egg cell and form zygote. It is called fertilization, simple. But in angiosperm plant there is a double fertilization. It means the two type of fertilization takes place. It means two type of fusion also takes place. Okay, here you can see the first type of fusion, it is called syngamy. Okay, first fusion is called syngamy, and the syngamy is fusion between one male gamete. Okay, here there are two male gamete. Okay, the fusion between one male gamete and egg cell. Okay, so one male gamete fuse here with the egg cell. Okay, so one male gamete, it is haploid, and egg cell, it is also haploid. Egg cell means female gamete. Okay, egg cell means female gamete. So one male gamete fuse with egg cell and form a single cell called zygote. Okay, it is obviously zygote is diploid because two haploid cell combine to form a diploid cell. So zygote, it's a product of syngamy. Okay, so after fertilization fusion of male gamete and egg cell, it forms zygote, and zygote it is a diploid cell. Okay, next fusion is a triple fusion. Okay, here it is a triple fusion. Triple means fusion of 3 cells. Okay, so you can see here in center of the ovule there are 2 polar nuclei. Okay, so there are 2 polar nuclei which are haploid. Okay, so other male gamete fuse with the 2 polar nuclei. Okay, the 2 polar nuclei means one polar nuclei it is haploid and the other polar nuclei it is also haploid. Okay, so here one male gamete and 2 polar nuclei fuse to form a product. It is called primary endosperm nucleus. Okay, the nucleus it is formed after fusion of one male gamete and 2 polar nuclei is called primary endosperm nucleus. It is short form or is PEN, PEN. Okay, so here you can see one male gamete haploid and 2 polar nuclei diploid. So 2n plus n it will become 3n. Okay, so it is a primary endosperm nucleus. It's a triploid structure. Okay, triploid. So you can ask the question, what is the ploidy of PEN? So you can say it is triploid and 3n. Okay, and the ploidy of zygote is a diploid and 2n. Okay, so these are the product of double fertilization. So what are the product of double fertilization? Zygote and PEN. Okay, PEN it is a nucleus, but in central cell, this central cell after the fertilization process it become PEC. PEC it means primary endosperm cell. Okay, so after double fertilization this zygote develop into embryo. It start developing into the embryo by the mitosis process, and this embryo develop into this embryo sac. So it is called embryo sac. Okay, so zygote develop into embryo and PEC develop into endosperm tissue. Okay, PEC develop into endosperm tissue, and endosperm it's required for the development of embryo. Okay, but this development of embryo and development of endosperm it is the next process. It takes place into the post fertilization events. So okay, so all of you know about double fertilization and pollen pistil interaction. Thank you.